My next guest is Sharon Bruno. Um, Sharon is from British Columbia, Vancouver. She is all snowed in. Sharon
Yay.
was 1991 North America bodybuilding champion. She's a fitness celebrity. She is still in amazing shape. She was a stunt actress, so you can Google her and see all the movies that she was in. And Dr. Stan has all of our married life, 45 years, just love to follow fitness people. And he's used to buy all the magazines. Now I guess he can see it all online. But he was following Sharon and noticed that she was having some health issues. And actually, it's been probably almost 2 years ago,
Yeah.
spring. So tell us what was going on with you, Sharon.
Yeah. Well, as we all age, we start to experience, everything not as 100% as they used to be. So expecting that, I'm going to be 60 in a couple of weeks, but a couple of years ago, I was going through some extreme pain in my knees. And this is a period of my life at an age where most of us are experiencing breakdowns in our joints, our muscles, what have you. And a lot of my peers were having knee replacement or hip replacement because we're all athletes or stunt people or Marines. And so I just assumed like it felt like bone on bone, both of my knees. Like, oh God, I'm going to need knee replacement. What's going on? Like I always had like injuries over the years because I was always an athlete, even prior to bodybuilding. But this was the sort of pain that I thought, oh, that's it. I'm due. I'm due for some new knees. So meanwhile, I was, elevating, icing, heating. I mean, it hurt to stand up and go to the bathroom. I couldn't do stairs, like going on a decline, either steep hill or stairs. I had to do the butt walk down my stairs to get up and down to my condo. And I'm thinking, God, but in Canada, it takes a long time to get an X-ray, an MRI, anything. So I'm thinking the worst. Like I said, it felt like bone on bone. Meanwhile, Dr. Stan Gravely reached out, and that's how I got to meet Dr. Stan and Jody, because I was sharing my experiences, my pain, putting it out there on Facebook and Instagram, because a lot of us share information like, hey, go see this, you got to try that. I think you're going to need this. And Dr. Stan reached out and goes, you have to try these. Now, I've never, other than noticing him online, never met these people. I never had conversations, what have you. And a lot of times companies, because we were at a certain status, they want me to try their products and be the face of their product, or, you got to buy this, you got to use that. And I'm like, nah. But Dr. Stan, you just gave me the breakdown, the information, and I'm all about stem cells. And earlier on, before COVID hit, again, this is during 2020, so right in the meat of it, I was going to join a company on a stem cell cream. And one of the top doctors in the industry, he said, look, we'll fly you in for stem cell injections in your knees. But he did explain it doesn't always work, but I had some of the athletes, yada, yada. Dr. Stan explained, try this first. It is going to activate your own. He explained the whole process. So he sent me the patches, enough for a week, and the X39, and I put it right on my knee. I said, can I put it all over my body? He goes, no, you just need one patch. Stick it, whatever, doesn't have to be behind the neck or on your navel, put it on your knee. So I put on one knee one day, the next knee the next day, kind of thing. But the first night, to sit back for a second, my legs felt like 100-pound weights each. I had serious inflammation, edema on the lower extremities. My feet, my calves, my ankles were swollen. Like my legs felt like these 100-pound weights and in pain constantly. And I woke up the next day, I swung my legs around and they felt like feathers. I stood up without sharp knives in my knees to go to the restroom, to have a shower. I could stand without having to hold on and move it around. I mean, it was night and day. Like, what is this? And I phoned him and I said, I don't know what you sent me, but I want in, I want more. Where can I get this stuff? So they introduced me to LifeWave. And ever since then, I've been using the product. The inflammation has gone away. When I finally had the MRIs and the X-rays and the ultrasounds, and And they told me it was osteoarthritis because I did go through menopause and everything. So wonderful things happen. And I think that's arthritis. That's insane. It was so painful. But the patches, they got me through it. And now I'm back to working out. I'm training clients. I can go up and down the stairs without doing the butt walk. I mean, just amazing. So I used it for several months. I'm one of those, I thought, and I should know better because I preach health and fitness still to this day. And it's like, you got to stay on the program because once you give yourself some time off, everything's going to go again, right? I mean, if you don't eat clean, if you don't work out, take care of yourself, what have you. And the same goes with the patches. So I took a couple of months off, not thinking, I'm thinking I'll go back on them again because I started feeling a bit, kind of discomfort again. It's coming back. I need to get back on the patches. I was in California working last year and I was jumping on a trampoline for a shoot and I fractured my tibia. I didn't know it was fractured. I felt it. I heard it. It was painful. No more jumping. So I had to wrap it and stabilize it to finish off my week of meetings and photo shoots and work. So I get back to Canada. Again, it takes forever. It's our socialized medicine here, to get an MRI, an X-ray. I should have stayed in California. I would have got stuff done, right? So now I'm thinking, all right, for sure this time I tore a CL. So the LCL, the ACL, it's painful. I'm wrapping it. Oh my God. Again, I am a couch potato, raised it, wrapping it. Went and got some more patches. Started slapping the patches on, the X39 and the Aeon. And while I'm waiting for any kind of procedure to find out exactly what I did to the leg, the patches started to kick in again. A couple of days I'm walking where I couldn't, like to stand up, it was painful. I'm walking, I'm starting to work out again, I'm traveling again. I'm just kept using the patches. And believe me, since then, I've never gone off the patches. Finally went in for an X-ray, showed that I had a slight fracture on my tibia, the top of my right tibia. Like, oh man, well, we might have to put a pin in it because it's quite wide, shoot. So I started to baby my leg again, but kept patching. By the time I got the MRI and another X-ray, it showed it had been healing. There's just a slight little bit left. So, I mean, and he's like, well, sometimes these mend on their own, but I mean, the size of the fracture, what have you been doing, right? I guess for your sports background. And I told him, the X-ray, what are those? What do you mean? And I got them interested, my MRI guy. And it's like, I'm so excited. I loved hearing Catherine's story here earlier because it's just amazing to hear everyone's situation and just how stem cells are the basis of all beings. This is our lifeline, and to be able to activate our own stem cells again. I'm going to be 60, like I said, and some of that's 70. I've heard of 80-year-olds, and or whatever, 20-year-olds with a slight, a break, and it mends like that. It's just, I love the product, and so much became a distributor, and I'm spreading the love and the word, and it's exciting to see everyone here and to hear the story. So there you have it.
Absolutely. Thank you, man. What a blessing. I
Thank
think
you,
one other
Dr.
thing you said
Santilli.
is that it has helped your insomnia.
Yes, I had serious insomnia because, well, I was so stressed out and depressed. If I'm not active, I get depressed. And I went through a situation in my life, but I just kind of dove into a deep depression. And of course, now I'm stressed and I'm worrying about I couldn't sleep. Like my chatter wouldn't shut off. And yeah, I'm getting great still now. No problem sleeping. Like a deep sleeps. It helped me with the sleeps and heart fibs. I was getting fibs because again, through all the depression, the stress, and I would get slight fibrillation. And I thought, oh man, that's not, and I kind of knew why. But because you had mentioned, you had sent me something, Jody, and it's like, oh, I forgot about, I had heart fibs too, and they're gone.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's awesome. It's a revelation.
Yeah.
You're like, wow, this works from
So
head.
I'm grateful. Thank you so much. And I'm glad to share my story anytime. Absolutely.
Well, thank you. Thank you so much for being with us today and sharing with us.